Finally tired of doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results? Well, this show is going to help you change your life for the better. Strap on your seatbelt and navigate this roller coaster we call life with human potential expert and best-selling author Dr. Verna Price. Each week, Dr. Verna blesses you with her virtues to live your best life so you can be the best you that you can be.
Welcome back to Dr. Verna's Virtues. For those of you who are brand new, welcome. I'm Dr. Verna Cornelia Price, and it's wonderful to meet you. Thanks for listening in, and please tell your friends and neighbors to do the same, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast as well. I appreciate that. For those of you who are returning, it's good to see you on the other side of this screen. I know you're there. Thank you so much for listening. And for those of you who are around the world and celebrating Easter, Resurrection Day, happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day. I'm so glad to have you here. Now, don't forget to subscribe, because I know many of you listen, but you haven't subscribed. Subscribe and tell your friends. Why is that so important? It's important because the more subscriptions that I have on this podcast, the wider spread the message can go. And so then it gets picked up, and then it gets viral, and then it gets sent around the world, which is really what my mission and vision and goal in life is to empower people around the world, that they were born with power and that they can use their power to change anything in their lives. And that's really what this work is about, is helping you to become your most excellent self. So thanks for joining me. So let's go ahead and let's start with our affirmation. We'll start with the Change Your Life affirmation. This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because it was given to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. I know some of you are thinking to yourself, Dr. Verna, you have an Afro puff today. I sure do. Every once in a while, I got to pull out my Afro puff and just let my hair relax from my twist. And it's a lot of fun. And the kids really like the Afro puff too, by the way. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and here's the notion. The notion is to value your values. Let me say it again. Value your values. And what does that mean? In our society today, there are many, many things, many, many situations, many, many apps, many, many movies, many, many people who, if you're not careful, they will shift you away from what your values are. Now, if you're not careful. Now, for those of you who are not clear about what are your values, right? And what exactly are values? These are things that I call non-negotiables in your life. These are the standards by which you live your life. These are the things that you will say, this is what I will not do, and this is what I will do. This is a clear line. There's no, gray area. Like people say, there's a lot of gray area. Nope, there's no gray area. There's no relative. Like some people say, well, it's all relative. There's nothing relative about your values. Your values are your set of standards by which you are living your life. And they don't change, and they are non-negotiable, and they're not going anywhere. Values don't wear out. Values don't, go out of style. We have this, this week I'm wearing twist. The next week I'm wearing an Afro puff. The next week I'm wearing braids. Those are called preferences, right? Things that you prefer. Values are not based on your preferences. Values are based on your convictions. And convictions are things that are non-changeable. Like, I am not changing how I think about this thing, how I view this thing, what matters to me. Values are those things that matter to you. So my big question to you, because there's so much information now. I was at a mental health conference for just a kind of a community gathering, mental health community gathering as it relates to young people, particularly Black and Brown young people, and the mental health of our youth. And so there was a therapist there, and she said something that really kind of struck me. And she said, you know what? We were not designed as human beings to know everything about everyone. We were designed to be local, and we were designed to be in community. In other words, we were designed to kind of be communicating with our neighbors. We were designed to be in community, in a neighborhood, in a community, in a tribe, in a, in this kind of set location, geography, right? And with our technology and with the media and with social media, it really, like, every day, every minute, every second of every day, we can be bombarded with messages and images and conversations from around the world. And not only that, but that bombardment comes with the good, the bad, and the ugly and the indifferent. So literally, we're constantly like this. Everything is coming in, everything is coming in, everything is coming in. So, and because we really weren't as human beings designed for all of that, we were designed to love our neighbor, like literally be in community with people. And with social media and technology, we're getting all this information, but there's distance. We don't really know these people. We don't really know what they're about. And if we're not careful, listen very carefully. If you're not careful, you can allow yourself to be shifted and moved. You can allow yourself to go beyond the boundaries of your values. Those things that have held your life together, those things that matter to you, those things that are your standards, those things that are your non-negotiables. If you're not careful, you'll stop valuing your values. Now, I can tell you, the minute that you cross over and you break the boundaries of your values, I know what's going to happen to your life. I know what's going to happen. And you'll say, well, Dr. Verna, you don't know me. Oh, I do. I know you. I absolutely know you. Because you know what? I know people. I know myself. And when I break anytime in my life where I have broken the boundaries, I have crossed the line of my values, every time I have ended up in trouble. Every time I've ended up with a heartache, a heartbreak, and messed up every time. Why? Because your values, when you figure out what they are, let me say that again. You got to figure out what they are. Know what you value. Know what you are valuing. Know what your standards are. Know what you are standing for, standing up for. Know that it's important to you. With your values, it is your greatest importance. It's called putting first things first, total priority of your values. And when you know what those are, what I want you to do is to value that. Value your values. Value what you stand for. And don't allow anything or anyone to deceive. And I say deceive because there's stuff out here, really, that's trying to make you think that somehow your values don't matter anymore. Yes, they do matter. They matter to you. They matter to your children. They matter to your community. It matters. Right? Everything that you in your value structure, and mind you, I'm making an assumption. And my assumption is this, right? Is that when we truly have values in our life, they're for the good. They're for the good. They're helping your life to be good. They're helping your community to be better. They're helping your children to be better. It's for the good. And if you ever have what I would say miscommunication with someone, right? Check the values. Are you having a value clash? Do they value something else that you don't value? Maybe it's time to have a values conversation with that person, particularly someone who you really care about, right? What are their standards? What do they stand for? What do they believe? What do they value? And have that conversation. It's a very deep conversation. And where we are not, typically, we do not have those conversations, right? We typically have, how you doing? Good, great. Oh, good, 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 great. Well, no, values, you get deeper. For those of you who've ever done my Change Your Life program, which is my 30-day change program, change your life in 30 days. And by the way, it takes more than 30 days. Just let me just tell you, but it's an online program. You do the program on your own time at your own pace. And the program is actually code protected, so that once you get the code, once you register for the program, you can register for the program anytime you want. You get a code every day, and every day as you do the work for that day, and every day, by the way, I actually provide you with instruction. There's a video there of me talking with you about that particular day and what's going to happen that day. And then also every day, what you're doing is you're doing your own work. Well, one of the days in the Change Your Life program is the Values Day. And it's where the instruction is to take your time. Sit down, take a moment, reflect. Reflect on, what do you value? What are your values? What's most important to you? And then here's what I encourage you to do. Take your life, and just like you build a house, right? When you build a house, you have a foundation. You have something to build on. That's what your values and your belief system is. It's something to build on. And take a minute, reflect. And I just want you to think through, are you crossing the boundaries of your values? Are you allowing your values to keep you strong, to hold you up? And are you clear about what your values are? I know this is a deep conversation, but it's one that I believe, in the middle of all of the stuff that's going on in our society, all of the stuff that's going on in our state, all the stuff that's going on in your house, in our houses, in our neighborhoods, in our world, that we are clear about our values. Because guess what? Particularly for those of us who have children, whatever your values are, whatever they are, they're going to get infused into your children, whether you know it or like it or not. Your children are daily, they are values, and they are looking for you to live out your values. And they are, you won't even have to say what they are. They'll just pick them up, right? Because you're caught, they'll catch those values from you and they'll put it into their lives as they go into adulthood. Value your values. I hope this was helpful today. I know it's a little different, right? Good teaching. Hopefully this is good. Value your values. I look forward to seeing you next week. Be sure, if you haven't gotten any of my material, go online to my store, which is powerlessonsforlife.com, powerlessonsforlife.com. My newest lesson, Power Lessons for Life with Dr. Verna. It's an amazing book. You'll really enjoy it. And of course, my absolute must-read book is The Power of People, 4 Kinds of People Who Can Change Your Life. Go on, get your own copy and share it with all your family and friends. And my Change Your Life book actually comes along with the program. All right, thanks for joining me today. And let's finish up with our affirmation. This is my life. These are my values. And I get to change my life when I want to, how I want to, if I want to. But my values remain. And that makes me very powerful, very valuable, very important, and very lovable. And that'll never change in my life. And I'm going to work to make sure that I value my values. All right. We'll see you next week. Happy Resurrection Day. Happy Easter. Bye.
Get caught up on previous episodes of Dr. Verna's Virtues at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.